expert ways I used to mask, and occasionally this still comes through today. Hi, my name is Sunny. For those of you who don't know me or haven't been on this channel before, I have ADHD, along with OCD tendencies, and I'm probably on the spectrum. The first way I used to expert mask is when I was in the corporate world, we would be in meetings and I would have my hands either clutching a book or a pen or something, my notes. They couldn't just be still on my lap. Sometimes they were, and they would get like very clammy and wet, and then I'd feel it like through my pant legs. But I learned to nod and smile and blink slowly, kind of like Bella in Twilight when she's learning to be human again, even though she's a vampire. That was me learning to be neurotypical and then presenting it fully like an Oscar award-winning show right in front of all of my coworkers during a meeting. Number 2, I literally cannot look you in the eye when I'm speaking to you. Like, sure, right now it seems very easy because I'm looking into my phone, but I am also connecting with you and looking at you. But the thing with social media is I don't know exactly who I'm connecting with. If we were to meet in real life in person, the chances of me being able to better communicate with you would be me looking away. And then the chances of me being able to listen better, especially to what you're telling me or suggesting for me, is if I'm doing something else, something that doesn't require a lot of my brain capacity or time. If I'm just doodling, or if I have one of these little rings that regulate your nervous system. If I'm just doing this, I can focus a lot better on our conversation than if I was just staring at you, nodding. Number 3 is I was an expert masker. So if I was feeling any sort of sense of overwhelm or uncomfortability inside my body, I was also a people pleaser. And so that would come out. I would really repress everything that I could during the day, and I'd come home and either break down and cry or just like fall asleep and pass out. Literally, as soon as you get home from work, think about that. Like coming home, driving home, it's like 5:30 or 6 p.m. and just like by 7 p.m., like lights are out. Like that's it. And I would have like a 3-hour nap, or I would just wake up the next day. Number 4, it is so hard for me to put whatever is in my head into words unless I am typing, writing, or channeling. And so how I would mask when doing this, actually, I don't know if I would mask doing this, but that's just a tidbit. So anyway, let's get on to number 4. One of the incredible ways I used to mask, especially growing up, I think this was maybe when I was like a tween, is if somebody said that they liked a movie, I would agree with them and say that I also liked the movie, even if I hadn't seen it, because I simply wanted to be liked. Number 5 is kind of a segue to that, or from that, is the massive fear of rejection. And when I was experiencing this and feeling it in my body, it felt so horrible. So I would mask all of my feelings. I would have a poker face. I would not let anyone know what I was deeply feeling inside, essentially creating a wall. Think of it as like a glass wall. You can see me, you're interacting with me, but you have no idea what I'm feeling inside. And then as soon as I turn away from the other person and start walking in the other direction, my chin would start quivering, my eyelids would start moving, and I would start crying. Even if it's like in high school, and that is so I found that so embarrassing and cringe that if I absolutely had to do that, I would be like wearing sunglasses or, doing my best to ensure I was going into an area that, like in a hallway, that I knew people weren't be walking in. Number 6, another way I used to mask is in social settings. Let's say you're doing like a team building event, or for example, one of the last things that when I was part of the corporate world, one of the last things we did all together as a team before the world shut down for, the big C, right? We went bowling. I was masking, pretending to be happy that I was there. And I want to really phrase this in a careful way, because it's not like I wasn't enjoying myself, but there were aspects of me that felt overwhelmed, wondering if the people there liked me, wondering if I was going to be fired. there were so many different layers to that day and what was happening internally on a cellular level. If you can't tell right now, I feel overwhelmed and pressured because I have now put myself in a position where I am talking about 10 different points and I actually have to think of them because the first 3 were easy. The next 3 were like, okay, yeah, I had to think a little bit about them. These last 4, I really had to and have to sit down and think about. Number 7, when I was feeling triggered, doesn't matter if it was like in a corporate situation with family or with friends, I would stuff down that feeling as much as possible. And fully knowing in my head that, okay, I get to leave this person or this situation and then I can process later. And if I didn't clock that and I was still, for example, if you're staying with your family at their house, I would react at something else that had nothing to do with this. Like it would be so minuscule, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Number 8 of how I used to be an expert masker. I learned to mirror body language because someone told me, this was early on in my career, they said body language matters, and if you mirror other people's body language, it'll make you seem less.
Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
I guess is what they were thinking. And I saw that as my way out. I was like, oh my God, I can function and act like I'm in normal society. So I used to mirror people's body language when I was in meetings to appear calm and like I didn't feel pressure on the inside. But also as a way to let them know that I'm listening. And this is such a slippery slope into manipulation, like now that I'm realizing it, which is so crazy, right? Like anyway, that's for another video. Another way I masked in my life and actually continue to do this still to this day, if I'm on a virtual call and people can't see my hands, I am literally doing this. I'll have a tuning fork with me, or I'll just be using this little nervous system regulating tool just to run along my fingers and recenter myself so I can focus on the conversation. Because as we learned, doing things like fidgeting helps me focus. And if you see me fidgeting, I promise you, I am listening more than if I was just sitting there like this. I can't. That's so awkward. So that was 10 things of me being an expert masker. What are yours? Let me know. I honestly, if you have ADHD, you're probably gonna let me know anyway, which is cool because that's how we roll.